Introduction to Android. Android is an open source software stack for mobile devices that includes an operating system, middleware, and key applications. Google purchased the initial developer of the software, Android, in 2005. Android mobile operating system is based upon a modified version of the Linux kernel. Google and other members of the Open Handset Alliance collaborated on Android's development and release. The Android open source project is tasked with the maintenance and further development of Android. Canalys reported that in Q4 2010, the Android operating system was the world's best-selling smartphone platform, dethroning Nokia's Symbian from the 10-year top position. According to Gartner, Symbian is still slightly ahead on sales if some legacy non-Nokia Symbian smartphones are included in the Q4 2010 figures. Android has a large community of developers writing application programs that extends the functionality of the devices. There are currently over 150,000 apps available for Android. Android market is the online app store run by Google. Though apps can also be downloaded from third-party sites, developers write primarily in the Java language, controlling the devices via Google-developed Java libraries. The unveiling of the Android distribution on 5th November 2007 was announced with the foundation of the Open Handset Alliance, a consortium of 79 hardware, software and telecom companies devoted for advancing open standards for mobile devices. Google released most of the Android code under the Apache license, a free software and open source license. The Android source software stack consists of Java applications running on a Java-based object-oriented application framework on top of Java core libraries running on Dalvik virtual machine, featuring JIT compilation. What is Android? The first truly open and comprehensive platform for mobile devices. All of the software to run a mobile phone but without the proprietary obstacles that have hindered mobile innovation. Source: googleblog.blogspot.com. Developed by Google and later the Open Handset Alliance, a software platform and operating system for mobile devices. Open source libraries for application development including SQLite, WebKit, OpenGL and Media Manager. Application runtime is executed in Dalvik's virtual machine or the real Android phone. User interface framework used to host and launch applications. Nowadays, mobile devices have become powerful tools more than simply making calls. But their software and development platforms have struggled to keep the improvement. Historically, developers generally coding in C and C++ have needed to understand the specific hardware they were coding. In more recent years, the biggest advantage in mobile phone development was the introduction to J2ME, Java 2 Mobile Edition. It used midlets and those are executed on Kilo virtual machine. KVM is type of Java virtual machine, but KVM specially designed for mobile platforms. The main disadvantages of J2ME is lack of low-level hardware access and slower execution. Introduction to Android development. Nowadays, Windows Mobile, Apple iPhone provide a richer, simplified development environment for mobile application, but they are built in specific operating system and have some restriction communication among applications and native phone data. Android offers new possibilities for mobile applications by offering an open development environment built on an open source Linux kernel. Hardware access is available to all applications through series of API libraries. Third-party and built-in applications are written with the same API and executed on the same runtime, so there is no limitation to third-party developers. Android platform. Android SDK, software development kit, no licensing or development fees, platform independent, comprehensive API for location-based services like GPS, shared data stores, integrated open source, HTML5 WebKit based browser, Media libraries for playing and recording a variety of audio-video formats. Android memory and process management. Like Java, Android uses its own runtime and virtual machine to manage application memory, and Android runtime also manage the process lifetimes. Android media support and 2D, 3D graphics. Higher resolution displays help make mobile multimedia devices. Android provide graphic libraries for 2D and 3D. Can handle images, video and audio files and other popular formats. Android development requirements. Java, Android SDK, Eclipse IDE optional in this case. Android software development kit, Android APIs, development tools, Android virtual device manager and emulator. Full documentation, sample code. Eclipse IDE plus Android development tools reduce development and testing time, makes user interface creation easier, makes application description easier, debugging is easier, can deploy to actual devices in quick time. These are the Open Handset Alliance. Android applications. Multiple applications running simultaneously. User may switch between running applications. Background services, copy and paste. Sample Hello World applications. What need to begin? Operating system, Windows, Mac OS Linux, Android SDK, Java Development Kit, Eclipse as Development IDE. Future of Android. In the future, Android will be used for microwaves and refrigerators and Android powered watches. Set up your computer to develop Android applications. This is how we do it. We'll show you step by step. Requirements: any operating system, Android SDK, Java Development Kit, Eclipse IDE. Eclipse IDE optional in this case. Step 1. Download the appropriate Android SDK from. After downloading, unzip it and install it. Now you will get the Android SDK manager. This is how it will show on your machine. To run Android apps, we want to set Android path in environment variable. To develop applications, we need Eclipse IDE. Download Eclipse. After downloading, run eclipse.exe. Go to help, install new software, and enter edit plugin for the name and enter the site for the site. After install the software, restart the Eclipse. Now you will see the following change in ID. Build the first Android application. Steps to follow: creating and configuring a new Android project, creating an AVD for project, creating launch configuration for project, running Android application in the emulator. We will show you a small demo doing all these and configuring Android on your machine and creating a first application for the end.